Hey, what is going on today, guys? Got a little throwback for you. I got the mountain bike out here today, and I wanted to show you guys how I mount my bikes on the side of my truck. I've talked about this in the past, but I didn't go in much detail. It was kind of in the middle of a video, so this video is going to be focusing on the mountain bikes on the side of the truck. I get a lot of questions about this, so I figured I'll give you guys a video. Let's hop into this. Starting off here, it's important to know that this is the Victory 4x4 bed rack, and this is the mid-level. They have a low level as well, but this is the mid-height one. This is the one I went with. I like it the best. But they also sell for this bed rack bike racks. And that's what you see back here, up there and up there. But they're not just a buy and you're good to go kind of system. You're gonna have to do some research on what you want to mount your bikes to. So up here, I got a cheap fork mount off Amazon. I think I paid like $8 for this. It's been holding up really well, guys. Mind you, I mount my bikes on the side of this truck and take it off-roading on the trails down in North Carolina. I go up mountains, so I do beat the crap out of the truck with bikes mounted to the side of it, and they haven't fallen off yet, so that's pretty awesome. I've actually caught a tree branch with one of my bikes. I think it was this one, and I ripped the derailleur off, so you do have to watch that because the truck gets wider if you have bikes on the side of it. Then back here, this is a Titan strap that I have. I'm a really big fan of these Titan straps. I've been using them for over a year now, probably, yeah, over a year now. And they haven't wore down at all. They haven't got degraded at all. Still really stretchy. I'm a big fan of those Titan straps. I'm gonna show you guys how I mount this bike up on this though. I just wanna talk about how it's kind of mounted up on here. Super easy to do. All I really have to do is take the front wheel off. Actually, you know what? Give me a second. Let me mess with the camera because I don't think you can see me very well right now. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now I can show you guys how I mount the bike. So all you do is take the front tire off. Now if you don't have a bike with a wheel set up like this, if you have a through axle, I'm trying not to get too technical here with mountain bike lingo. But if you have a wheel like this, you can just take it off like that, throw it down there, grab the bike like this, pop your chain off because you don't know what you're doing. That's what I just did. Loosen this up more. Hold up. We're just gonna restart the whole thing. That was terrible. We're just gonna act like that didn't happen. Start from the top. We're gonna take our wheel off like that. I already have it loosened. Loosened? You know what I'm trying to say there. Go ahead here and throw the bike up like so. Get it on there. Make sure it's actually on there. Make sure it's not bouncing off your Wii Boost. All right, make sure it's not hitting off there. Looks good enough for me. And I just come up here and I tighten this up. Like so. It's a long process. Not really. This bike's super easy to get up there because it's so light. I have an e-bike that I throw up here and it's a little bit heavier. But you want to make sure you got this tight. Then you come back here, grab your Titan strap, throw it on there, give it a little shake, and you're good to go on a road trip. Now, that's all I do, and I hit the trail just like that with my bike on the side of my truck. I've driven hundreds, thousands of miles with my bikes mounted to the side of my bed rack like this with no issues. Now on the other side is another set of bike racks, the same as this side. But this side is a little bit different because it's designed for my wife's bike. It's a 75-pound e-bike. Yeah, believe it or not, I pick up a 75-pound e-bike and rock it on the side of my bed rack while I'm off-roading and road tripping. It gets a little bit sketchy and I do have to think about it all the time when I'm driving around because the last thing I want is that bike to fall off and go down the side of my truck or endanger other people. So when I mount my wife's bike up on the truck, it's a little bit different. I actually run a strap around the fork because that weight gets going, right? It's 75 pounds. It gets a lot more shaky than that does. So I have a strap that goes around the fork, just a red strap that I have, and I go around this and I make sure it's really tight to get rid of all that shake you see up there. Then I also run a ratchet strap around it on longer road trips just to make sure it's safe and secure. It looks a little bit, I don't know, I don't want to say backwards or hillbilly-ish. Maybe I do want to say hillbilly-ish. It does look like that, but it works. I've driven around like that for a long time, hit the trails like that for a long time as well. We lived out of this truck, and that's how I had the bikes mounted to the side of the truck, and I have no issues with it. I will say though, when you're living out of the truck and you're traveling, getting out of the truck, setting up your tent, taking the bikes off, then putting them back on, hitting the road again, 75-pound bike up and down is pretty brutal on the shoulders. It's a good workout. There are a bunch of different ways to mount your bikes to your trucks. This is the way I chose, and it's kind of the only way I could do it for a few different reasons. We'll go into the backstory here, but if you didn't know, I'm a big mountain biker. I don't talk about it too much on the channel because it doesn't do well, but I want to talk about this because a lot of people ask me. So one of the options you could mount bikes to is the hitch. Now the problem with the hitch mount is you're going to lose departure angle. The longer that your truck is, the more things you have hanging out back here, the higher chance it is when you're going up hills that you're going to hit your hitch off things. Now it's not a concern if you're not going to be off-roading your truck. If you're just going on light trails or forest service roads, not a problem. You can rock a hitch mount, no big deal. I know a lot of guys do that. They don't really use their rigs like they claim to do on Instagram, so don't got to worry about that. But me personally, if you look at my hitch, I've hit it off things in the past with nothing hanging off of it. So the last thing I want to do is catch a hitch mount that has $4,000 worth of bikes on the trail and rip my hitch off or rip the bikes off. So I just rather have them up here, even though this is a risk because I do catch branches with them sometimes. It's more likely for me to hit a wide trail than, well, I guess what am I trying to say? It's more likely that I'm going to hit my hitch off the trails I'm on rather than hit my bikes off branches, if that makes sense. So I went with this way rather than the hitch mount, even though I probably would have saved money in the long run if I would have went with the hitch mount, because each one of these mounts was about $200, maybe $170. Not a cheap date for a piece of steel. Same thing on the other side. So I have almost $500 wrapped up on mountain bikes on the side of my truck. A little bit goofy, but it works really well and I do like it. The other way to mount bikes to your truck is inside the bed. This is how I did it for a really long time when I had this truck, but the problem was I had to switch how I had this set up. One, because Ashley's e-bike weighs 75 pounds, so I had a tailgate mount here that went over. It was a Fox tailgate mount, and you just kind of hang the bikes over and you strap them to this mat. It worked well when we had normal bikes like this bike or my light e-bike. It worked fine, but with Ashley's 75-pound e-bike, it'll dent some things. So that was part of the reason why, but the biggest reason is because I have a deck system in the back of the truck here. So there's really no place for me to store a bike because I have the deck system and then I have this. So unfortunately, it cannot fit bikes back here anymore. So that left me with my only choice and mounting them to the side of my truck. It does look very cool though, and it's a good conversation piece. You should see the looks I get when I'm driving around when we're fully loaded on trips. And I got 2 bikes on the side. I have like paddle boards back here that are like inflatable paddle boards. It gets pretty wild. Let me know down in the comments, guys, if you like the mountain bike content. I know I wasn't really doing any mountain biking, but we were talking about mountain biking. Let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you guys. Love to hear what kind of hobbies you are into when you're also overlanding or going out on trips. Love to hear from you guys. I'm actually going to be going camping this weekend. Super hyped. I haven't been camping like all season. I did that winter trip that went really bad because my diesel heater broke. Haven't been camping since I think October was my actual last camping trip. So I'm really excited to get back out there, and we're going to be camping next to some awesome mountain bike trails. So maybe I'll do a little bit of a mountain bike overland trip throwback, share it with you guys. Can't wait to be recording that kind of content again. I love doing that. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this bike mount setup. I will do my best to answer them. Please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. It means a ton to me. We're on a road to 10,000. I had to think about it there because I don't know why. I'm a little tired. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers and we are so close. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Check this video out right here. Actually check it out because it is very good, and I'll see you in the next one.